also has a thing called Neuralink that's being developed. Oh, and also boring. He's boring a hole underneath LA, these are all good things. But the Neuralink, he wants to put chips in our brain so that we connect to the internet. No way. No way.
Isn't that an episode of Black Mirror?
That's where my support stops, Elon. I'm not putting, I know what the plan is coming together. You start telling me things that I want to hear. Oh yeah, we're gonna open this up, or we're gonna open that up, and then you put a thing in my brain. I see what is happening. Welcome to the Zoo. I'm here with my peeps. That's AK Lopez. That's Nikki P. We're on the Zoo. We're gonna get crazy. We're gonna talk about the takeover of Twitter by a billionaire mogul, right here on The Big Deal. All right, so Elon Musk is buying Twitter, and a bunch of people are going crazy, and a bunch of people are getting happy. I have a perspective on it that's pretty centered, as typical. But any quick thoughts, jokes, reactions? What do you guys think?
I mean,
to me, I just don't get it. I really do. I don't.
Well, I can explain it to you.
No, I mean, I get why, but just Twitter, like, what was he between that and Pinterest? Like,
Pinterest is actually where I get my news. You know, people ask me, where do you get your news
from? No way.
I'm like, Pinterest, and then I walk away and you see them like all perplexed.
I only go on Pinterest to get iPhone wallpapers.
Nah, yeah,
but, you know, it just seemed like of all the things to buy, you know,
well, he bought it for a reason, and there's the reason that he says, which I like, but then there's the real reason behind it, which I'm always suspicious about. Your quick reaction?
Yeah, doesn't he own like a newspaper company?
No. Jeff Bezos. No, actually.
Jeff Bezos.
So Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. So this is that's why I think that he's making a play. He's like, okay, should I go to the surface stuff first?
Sure.
Okay,
hit us
so the reaction is this. He's buying Twitter because Twitter has become, like a lot of social media, very restricted and very pointed one way, right? I consider myself a liberal, but I can recognize, like, if you're a conservative, you're going to have a lot less of a leash to say things than someone on the left. And so he started complaining about that. Not that he's ever been a conservative or anything like that, but he started complaining about Twitter's like anti-free speech stuff. The people who hate the fact that he's taking over are afraid that now Twitter's going to go back to being a place where people can like harass, make threats, white nationalist stuff, and then they talk about misinformation, disinformation. That's the part that I disagree with Twitter. So people are freaking out that he's going to just open the reins to a lot of that again, right? And some people that have been banned are going to be let back in, right. Donald Trump, that kind of stuff. But I actually do agree that we do need, even though it's a private company, and I don't believe that you should be able to threaten anybody, right? Or make serious harassing things, you got to allow for different opinions. You know, there's people that have made jokes that have been banned from Twitter. And what I don't like is that Twitter talks about judging misinformation, yet they've gotten a lot of things wrong. They didn't let this Hunter Biden story be published on Twitter last year. Whether you like it or not, that's a real thing. He lost a laptop that has a lot of incriminating information in between him being with hookers smoking crack. They blocked that story because they didn't want it to like work against Joe Biden. Well, that's disingenuous. So that I think should be fixed. Also, there's a lot of use of bots. So a lot of times people want to manipulate information on either side by sending a bunch of bots at one thing. So people think all these people are pissed off or all these people support, but it's really a bunch of bots. So he's going to try to take that out. If he does that, I think that'd be a good thing.
There's so much porn too on Twitter.
Well, yeah, that's actually funny. That they restrict certain things, but they don't restrict that.
Right,
the last thing I will say is this. People freaking out about saying, oh, a billionaire bought Twitter. Well, the people that owned it were billionaires. A Saudi prince who's tied to a murder, a company called Vanguard who's buying up all homes across the country, along with BlackRock, you know. So it's not like, I mean, this is the guy that started Tesla, which is a green company that a lot of woke people loved, and has a space, like, you know, so it's not like, is he worse than the people that owned Twitter before? So I think it's a lot to do about nothing. Now, here's what I'm suspicious about. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. I think he's making a play because he sees himself as this mogul and he needs to control, like, communications. Jeff Bezos, his big rival, who he makes fun of, owns the Washington Post. So that guy has a media outlet. Elon Musk is like, let me get a platform.
Right.
Where I can manipulate whether your post even gets seen, kind of like what they did to the New York Post the year before. And I feel that he's like, why would I go for a newspaper? Why don't I go for an entire platform? That's my ulterior motive. And as much as I do like a lot of the stuff that Elon Musk says and does, I don't like this Neuralink thing. At the end of the day, he says he wants everybody verified to remove the bots, but isn't making everybody verify their identification just making it more easier to track you and to do a social credit score and that kind of stuff? So that's why I'm not all in, but I'm also not all out too. I mean, it is what it is. Right now, after what I said.
Well, now that you mentioned that, I was like, that's the reason I don't verify my account on Instagram, because it asks you for a photo of your like driver's license. And speaking about how they're like starting to hack into these platforms, the last thing I want is for them to have a photograph of me linked to my account.
So he wants every real person to do that now.
Every real person.
Yeah.
You're going to get verified for being real.
Yeah, because he wants to take out bots. That's his excuse. No, I agree with him. Take out the bots, but look what's happening. He's kind of like
Can't they just do that grid thing where it's like, where's the lights? Can't they just do that?
No, because they want everybody to be verified so that you're then responsible for your comments. As much as he's talking about free speech, he's going to make it so that you're really going to be tied to your comments now. Yeah. It's not going to be a fake account. It's not, that wasn't me. My account was hacked. None of that.
But it is nice for all the influencers in LA. You're finally going to get that blue check. That's funny. What you've been waiting for.
All right, but make some Elon Musk grime jokes, because I was expecting jokes.
I don't really have much. I don't really know much about him. They named that baby after a long division equation.
I know.
You know what I mean? But I do agree with you on what you're saying, though, that I think that he owns the platform. It's just, I'm interested to see what Twitter is going to morph into, because I think it is going to.
It's going to be what Twitter was like 5 years ago, where there's a lot of craziness.
Still really bad now. Like
it is bad now, but it's kind of slanted now, and you have to work away, dude. Like you'll be shadow banned for like just even mentioning certain words.
Well, imagine you're banned on Twitter and then your Tesla shuts down. You're banned in every aspect of your life. You know what I mean?
But hear me out. But don't you think that, and I've seen so many people say, like, why couldn't you do something for healthcare or do so many things like that? It just seems odd to me. That just seems.
No, on this, I'm going to back it up. Look, it's very important for us to start trusting like things again. And the only way that we can do that is not necessarily by censoring, but by providing the real story, and that hopefully will combat the fake stories. Now, it's up to us to be able to figure out what's true and what's fake, and not everyone's going to be smart enough or care enough to find that out. But I don't trust a Twitter executive board now or even in the future to be deciding what's misinformation and not. I'd rather decide for myself, right? So on that, I do want it opened up. But again, I'm suspicious of all these other things that are happening that I feel down the road will be compromising. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But it does seem like Elon Musk is starting to like an octopus, right? Have hands in many different things that center around our life as like the digital begins to take over.
Right. So well, you know about Neuralink, right?
No.
Okay, so he owns a bunch of companies and they all seem awesome, right? Tesla, an electronic vehicle, a SpaceX, sending people to space, Solar City, it's about solar things that you put in your house. But he also has a thing called Neuralink that's being developed. Oh, and also boring. He's boring a hole underneath LA, these are all good things. But the Neuralink, he wants to put chips in our brain so that we connect to the internet. No way. No way.
Isn't that an episode of Black Mirror?
That's where my support stops, Elon. I'm not putting I know what the plan is coming together. You start telling me things that I want to hear. Oh yeah, we're gonna open this up, or we're gonna open that up, and then you put a thing in my brain. I see what is happening.
Speaking of things that we don't want to hear, I did see, and I can't tell if this was a fake tweet or not. I tweeted that the next thing he's going to invest in is fixing the ice cream machines at McDonald's.
And he said no, that
that wasn't true.
But he said that there's some things that even he can't do. That's what he said. All right, we're going to take a break right here. When we come back, we're going to take an interview with the Mayans MC star Calabrata. We'll be right back in the Zoom.